Hey guys, welcome back to Banished Souls. This is your Captain Cryptic Gaming. I hope everyone's having a wonderful week so far. A lot of y'all are probably just about ready to wake up for work or just coming in trying to unwind from a hard day of work. So, either way, guys, here's your little bit of stream you can check out. We're just going to do some pieces of 8 and fight along the way. I try not to hit the guys around these bases so I can collect without having to deal with the plunder, losing your hostile level and all. So those are some little quick tips for you. If you get in here and you're unable to interact, it's probably because you have a rogue on you or you have inadvertently damaged part of the base, which typically happens. So we're in here with one of our Discord members, JWG Knight. He is just got his brigantine. He's finally reached his level for Kingpin and is starting his empire. So we may go check on him here after a while. We've got him on here just in case he runs into some issues with his captures. When it comes down to picking up your pieces of 8, people are wondering what's the quickest way. Well, unfortunately, this is not like Black Flag where you can do Kenway's fleet and have ships do all this stuff for you. I was to the understanding that's what one of the features was going to be in the game. It may be something they release later on, I don't know. And it could be if you do your refinery upgrade enough, maybe that opens up for you. I've heard they can actually get it where you only really have to collect or donate to these factories once or twice a day if you get it up to a high enough level. I've not attempted that. I'm trying to get key pieces of black market value. So one of the things we picked up was the Sambuck blueprint. We have it on. It's fantastic if you're doing PvP. Now, if you're just out collecting like this, it's going to be kind of slow. You're going to be OP if you're running some of those world events. You're going to be at the back of the pack, coming back with, say, your legendary heist, and you have to make it back to port. Everyone is going to take off and leave you. It'll be you and anybody in a snow or a sambuck because the brigantine is just so OP when it comes to speed, which is a great thing when you're collecting pieces of meat. So you may be wondering, do I run more than one ship type? I absolutely do. Depends on what kind of gameplay I am getting ready to do. You can open up multiple weapons and get those set up, or you can just use the same weapons between different ships. It's up to you how you want to make quick work of those guys. And we are now getting those silver chests everyone was talking about. Used to, when I would take out them rogues, I didn't see anything unless I was actually carrying some the white rum or the opium, the Blue Lotus opium. Then you would get those chests. But here they seemed to have fixed it, or maybe I was just bugged the other day. But it was getting kind of aggravated because everyone was talking about getting extra silver in those chests, and I was never getting a drop for it. All I would get was cannonballs, and I don't even run them. I ended up kind of messing around with one of the dudes on Discord today. Was getting him some materials he needed, and went ahead and dumped all the unwanted stuff out of my warehouse into his little trade agreement, more or less to clear up my own space. But it might be some stuff he can use, and you're not really going to get much of it out of his silver value trading it in game. So I just got rid of it. Now we can collect that profit. So what I'm doing now, we probably have enough, but I want to make all my rounds here. I want to take and get that Mons Meg 3 blueprint, and we're going to start building some of those. We're going to be crewing up some of our Discord guys and just people we meet in game that like to travel together, and we're going to start taking out some of these mega forts. The first one I want to try is that level 15 that everyone seems to be having problems with. There's a piece of furniture that gives you an additional 15% damage against structure, plus the extra 50% you're getting from the Bombs Meg already, and then whatever your DPS is on your ship type that you're using, man, we're looking at quite a bit of damage output, so that's going to be pretty nice. As far as ship builds, yeah, we post a lot of videos up on YouTube. What's the best ship build? For the style gameplay I do, I don't play off and do a lot of healing. I have as a healer in other MMO games, but this particular game, my fighting style is to get right up in there and hammer them as hard as I can with the mortar and the bombards. And as long as you're hitting those key points that are highlighted in red, folks, you are going to be destroying anything and everything that comes your way. And that includes the snow. I know it's a tanky ship and it can take some heckacious beatings, man. But when it comes right down to it, it's not going to take more than you can dish out with the right type of weaponry. We've been running the ghost ship missions, trying to get those nice glowing sails, picked up a few pieces of apparel, picked up several of those, uh, whatever the fire weapon is you get in that thing, and ended up just giving those some guys that we play with on here because, quite frankly, it's not really something I have much use for. I am trying to find this location. Okay, that's what's going on. I am at the wrong island to begin with. Now, I typically take a different route, but what I'm doing right now also is I am looking for shipwrecks. Now, why would I care about shipwrecks at this rank? Well, because I hate paying for the bombard rounds. So apparently this was already being hit. We'll have to wait for it to recover. But you can make a bombarder ammo crate for one nail and one piece of scrap salvaged metal. That's all you need. And you're going to get 60 bombarders out of each box. So you can pick those up, run maybe 8 or 9 of those things real quick, and you're going to be set up. You're going to have plenty of ammunition. So typically if I'm out just kind of coasting around like this, trying to find my pieces of 8, I will take and try to carry around 300 of the mortars and, or I'm sorry, around 1,000 of the mortars and about 300 of those bombard rounds, just so I don't run out. Now, if I'm going out on some heavy battles, I will fill that up where everything is got at least 1,000 rounds in it. Because the worst thing that can happen is being in the middle of a mission and run out of ammunition, and have to go find a port to go pull it out of the warehouse or go buy it somewhere. You're going to pay an absorbent price for 60 bombard rounds. But this game has been taking a lot of hits and getting a lot of hate amongst the game review companies out there, the gaming magazines and stuff. Everyone that values themselves as a influencer. I tell you what, for what the game is supposed to be, they've done a great job on it. Drinking that coffee, man, keeps you up late at night. So they say. I've not noticed where it actually keeps me where I'm not tired. But when you suffer from insomnia already, you're lucky to get that 4 or 5 hour nap in the middle of the day. Then this gives you something to do. But I had been considering. I've been retired for, see, 2016, so it's about 8 years now. And a couple times I've gotten just bored, you know, and go find a little job working somewhere doing something. And as you work your way up to management, you're sitting there going, why have I allowed this to consume my life? So go back into retirement. And I got thinking, I was like, well, I'd like to play video games. Maybe I should start streaming and recording some of these because people are actually making a little bit of extra pocket cash with it. And let's face it, who out there with the, everything going on today couldn't use a few extra bucks? So that's why we've went ahead and done this. So if you hit that follow button, guys, hit that subscribe button. That just helps me out. And of course, watching the streams. And it doesn't cost you anything. Okay, so apparently there's a rogue here. There he is. Oh, I hit an island right as I was getting tuned in there. Let's go grab this next location here. So I usually work this route the other direction, but I wanted to change things up. And if you find yourself getting, bored with some of the same old, just switch up a few things. You're going to run across some different stuff. So there's JW. Looks like he is doing fantastic. That's his new brig. I tell you what, he come up through the ranks quick. I don't even think he played through the betas, man. But he's been a very good help on a lot of the stuff, running our Discord groups and keeping all that going properly. Because tell you that stuff there can be a nightmare sometimes when you start messing around with these programs. It seems like it's always constantly changing. Not sure what we did to make that guy want to fight. Nope, I do not want to plunder. So I guess I'm gonna have to fight the ship for whatever reason. Must not like well. So when that happens, apparently you have a wanted level. You just have to kind of pull up out of the area. Wait for your wanted level to go away. Though I'm not actually seeing a wanted level up here, so. Or hostile rating as they call it. It's basically like a wanted level that you have in Black Flag or GTA or any kind of game like that. And it could be because we're in a group and maybe he has a wanted level. That could actually screw you up sometimes, guys. So we're going to leave the level there. And then we're going to come up and try to see what can happen here. I'm betting that's what's happening because it looked like he was having some wars there. Shooting some ships. Having a little fun. They want to make sure you can't have fun while you're doing this, apparently. But apparently there's been a lot of chatter about the rogues that you come across when you're picking up your pieces of 8. I've not noticed anything. I mean, I pick up all my locations in one go, and I can bring up, depending if my warehouses are full, I can bring back anywhere from 800 to over 1,000, just over 1,000 pieces of 8 in a single run every few hours. I've not noticed any issues with those ships being too OP. So it comes down to, like with any game, if you're playing this and you're saying, man, this is just a little too hard, I'm having issues with it. Well, think more along the lines of Elder Scroll or any kind of RPG game that's going to be out there. You're going to want to back up, go into an easier level where ships are a little bit easier. You want to focus on farming, getting silver, tracking the right blueprints. If you will get that Royal Custodian armor, which is very easy to get, guys. In order for it to be traded off, they need to be a Kingpin rank, but you can pick that up inside the Merchant Convoy event. So I highly recommend you do that because it's worth it. Right now, until they come out with the Ouroboros armor and maybe even the Black Prince, I haven't decided if I want to use the armor or not. We may actually pick it up. It just depends. I think it's 4,000 pieces of 8. But I want to get that Mons Meg first, rather than buy a piece of armor that may or may not matter. But the Royal Custodian is going to do everything you need to do. So you can, if you don't realize it, you can check your helm while you're going across the sea. Just go to your map tab over one time to the right, and you're going to bring up the helm. You can reload the silver on all the bases. You can take and see what areas are ready for harvest. You can come in and upgrade all that stuff. There's just a lot of use for it. It's like being back at Smuggler's Den without having to actually go to Smuggler's Den. That was one of the things that was kind of starting to, get old to me. And then I realized, hey, you know what? I don't even have to leave the sea. I can just do it right here in this map. So again, to do that, bring up your map, tab over to helm, and you have full access. As you can see, we've got a few banks that are full, so we should have pretty close. We should have a 700 or 800 run anyway. And you may think, well, you don't want to play the game for hours having to do this. You really don't have to. Make the pieces of 8 run, call it a day for a few hours, you know. Keep the game fresh. If you're sitting here waiting for those banks to fill, it's kind of like watching water boil. It's going to feel like you're getting nowhere. And there is undoubtedly a rogue nearby. Though I don't see him. Well, that's the player. It's weird. He must have been interacting with at the same time I was. So a few little bugs they still got to work out. But overall, man, this is it's a solid game. I don't know why it's getting so much hate amongst some of those larger gaming communities. But one of the things that I noticed is the ones that are talking crap about it are actually playing it still. Because guess what's trending in the game world right now? People are trying to determine whether this game is worth it or not. I feel that it was worth the pre-order for the premium, but I can understand people not wanting to spend that. So typically within a few weeks, Ubisoft games drop in price, man. So if you're still on the fence, you don't really pay that much, definitely check the game out. It seems like they even have a demo you can play. I believe they said it's an 8-hour demo. So look in your store, see if you can find that, and hop in and check it out. And all of the progress you make in your demo, you're going to get to keep, which isn't going to be much in 8 hours. I can guarantee you that. You will probably get up to the Hulk. Potentially, you could get the Patagon, which is your first medium-sized hull, and it is a beast on the seas until you start getting into these larger ships. There's still people today that use the Patagon. Most of those who like those tanky ships, they will use the Snow. It's a galleon style, beautiful. It's probably the best looking ship in the entire game. This is the Brigand. As you can see, it's not a bad looking ship, but it is not what you think of, when you're looking at like the Black Pearl or some of those ships in those movies from the days. So I did have one question about when do I typically stream. I'm going to be honest. I've been pretty bad about not starting to stream just because I haven't really thought about it. When I get on here, I'm just wanting to jump in and play the game, and I feel like I talk too much when I know that streaming. But typically, that's the best way to learn tips. If I find something interesting when running this game, I'll come in and I'll clip it out of a stream, come back and run it for a YouTube video for hints and tips. But to me, it's great when you're actually out here and you're discovering it for yourself. But we did do a sandbuck build. If you're not familiar with our YouTube channel, that is Banished Souls, all one word, 774, all one big thing. Banished Souls 774. You'll find us on YouTube. It should also be in our uh, connections here listed with Twitch, so you can check that out. We also have a Facebook group and then, of course, our Discord if you're looking for people to play with. The problem with picking randoms, you can do that in here. You can actually go into matchmaking, and as long as you turn off or turn on your crossplay, you can come in and just find a group. But make sure you save those guys. And typically, what I've found is finding a group in there. You're going to be lucky if you find them on there again, because usually people are just kind of blowing through. They have their own people. You've just joined them on a day when their buddies weren't on. So Discord, we've got over 60 active members right now that are wearing this game out. And it's nice to get on, play with different people or play with the same people. We're wanting to start forming some dedicated fleets, which is y'all will pick your lead for your group and 3 guys per group. And we just load these servers out. Sometimes we'll just keep inviting people over and they'll just start adding their groups. As soon as someone leaves the server, we invite them over. And we had 12 guys in this server the other night. And there wasn't anything in this game that we weren't able to slaughter, except for that level 15 fort. And I think that's because we just didn't have those megs mons. Alright, so I'm going to have to deal with this freaking rogue here. It's going to be hard to fight him in these tight quarters. A little more lead. So a lot of people are wanting those Denali cannons, and they're basically like this, except they fire in tandem. Well, the problem with that is you can see sometimes it's kind of hard to get a bead exactly where he's going to be at. And if you fire the whole shot off, oh, now he's going to run. If you fire your whole load, man, and you miss, then you got to wait for that reload. At least this way you can kind of fan them out a little bit if you need to. Now we have his number. Go ahead and explode, man. So as we were saying earlier, now I'm getting ballista bolts. So I guess it's going to depend on exactly what type of rogue it is. Because my experience is I usually get some kind of ammo. But occasionally I do get silver. But it's usually when it's two ships traveling together that's going to carry that silver, that one lone ship. It seems like it just drops ammo for me anyway. And it is, the cells are just a little bit different. They're black, but they have some yellow. So we've actually kind of mimicked a little bit of it. Not exactly. But I get shot a lot in battle. Mainly because people think I'm the rogue ship because it sells. And I make that mistake sometimes because I'm looking for, colored cells for the enemies. If it's black cells, I'm looking for rogues, especially when you're traveling in a group. You get a lot of rogues when you're doing your rum running and stuff. For me, the rum running just isn't really worth it. Traveling back and forth, I hate to go and get the silver and all that stuff. To go get the sugar cane or the poppy or the black tobacco or the, what is it called, a juniper berry, I think it is. I just get kind of burnt out on it, and I don't care about getting the Skurlock 9s that everybody is loving so much. I used them in PvP, and I found that my Fire Mortar 3s do far more damage and are way more effective, so I traded them off to one of the guys in our Discord group. Same thing with the Spectral Flame. Got rid of it. Had no use for it personally. I know there's a lot of people on Facebook and different things that are trying to sell those for 250,000 silver. To me, it's not worth that. If you're just playing NPC content, PvE, just against the game, yeah, it's a pretty good weapon. But when it comes to player versus player, everyone is running the Royal Custodian armor, which has, I think it's a 30 or 40% negation on fire. So it's kind of a moot point. I believe that's our last location there to pick up. We're going to have to take and do a little battling here, just for the heck of it. And for those who have followed, I noticed when I looked earlier today, we've actually got like 9 followers now. So that's actually pretty good. That was, 9 more than I thought I would actually get. And the main reason why I say that is we started off, we had the camera and all that up. And to me, it takes away from the game. It really, see this legendary takeover event that just flashed up, that's what you would run. It's typically going to be down here off the coast. Yep. And you run that, and you got to pick up a chest and some, booty or whatever, and get it back to St. Anne. And if you're playing that in the brig, you're going to be great. The brigantine, you're going to be just fine. If you're in the snow or that sandbuck, you're going to have to fight every step of the way. So if you're looking for a good fight and you got a ship built for that, man, that sandbuck is going to excel in there compared to the brig, mainly because of the actual damage output it can do. So we went in and we moved some furniture around. I think I'm going to do some more changes when I get back in there. I removed some of my stuff for the bombards and mortars, mainly because I wanted to put some extra room in there for some of the healing effects that they have in this game. Where if you take that permanent damage on top or the critical damage and you get that little red bar, it actually heals it up while you're traveling and you're out of battle and you don't have to return to port. Those are some great things to have. We did some stuff for some speed. We did some stamina boosts as well, give you a little more stamina. But in doing so, we sacrificed some of our explosive radius on the bombards. So I think I may actually put some of that back on. It's just finding that balance of a ship. But it does fine if you can aim and hit. The problem with the expanded explosion radius is it will make you a lazy shooter where you're just shooting near it to do some damage instead of looking for that critical shot. So we pulled 767 in. That's not bad for a little run. We didn't have all of our warehouses full, but see, make sure everything is still running in production. It looks like we've got green light on everything. 17 minutes and it need to be refunded. So that 3,547 of the pieces of 8. We've gotten 190 of the sovereigns. I've spent some of those. I didn't realize that, was it the Danielis or Dardanellis, whatever it's called. I didn't realize those cannons were charged by sovereigns, and I kind of bought some furniture stuff with it. Okay, let's see what we got here. I think we can get that Mons Meg now. Check a few things out. So yeah, so the Dardanellis gun, it is actually looks like a fantastic weapon on here. But the problem with it is it costs 350 sovereigns each, and there's no blueprint for it. So you can spend your sovereigns on that if you want to. To me, I'd say use pieces of 8 and just get the Fire Bombard 3. It's going to do just as much damage, and that print's going to be down here. A lot of people saying they bought just a cannon, or they got a cannon from it in the box, and a lot of people only run it on the stern of the ship. I say slam it all the way around. Okay, Mons Meg. So this does 375 damage. Instead of explosives, though, it's going to give you a, where's that stat at? Here we go. Increases damage to structures by 50%. So if you're looking at, hey man, how do I take out these forts that are over in the Indies? This is the weapon you're going to use. It does have some explosive in it, adds 10% damage as explosive damage in a 30-meter blast, so you're going to get some out of it. And then you have piercing, it's going to add 10% damage of piercing damage to the weak points by 50%. 10% damage, piercing damage, and increases damage to the weak points by 50. So that might actually be pretty good. This 3075, I believe this was the Fire Mortar 3, which is, no, that's a repair mortar. Yeah, Fire Bombard, here we go. 2925, so yeah, we're going to switch over. We're going to do the Mons Meg. Let's go ahead and purchase that. And once you have the blueprint, you're going to want to come over here and build this bad boy. I don't know that we're going to have resources. I think we do. But honestly, I didn't even look to see what the resources are going to require. I do know that we got to go to the blacksmith to do this. Okay, so we're going bombards. There is a Mons Meg somewhere in here. Mons Meg 3. So we need Orca mechanisms. So we have 4 slots, so we're going to need 4 of those. And it looks like we're good on everything else. Okay. And I can show you where to get the Orcus mechanism. I should have checked it there. We got to go back to Black Market, guys. Now you can check the requirements to build one without going to the blacksmith, but when it starts getting this late and you're tired, it's easy. Oh, there she is right there. Perfect. So this is going to cost 1,500 pieces of 8 to get it. So we're going to need to get 4 of them. Unless we can actually farm it. And we'll look see if we can farm that. But my guess is it's going to be a black market item you have to do to keep you running. And that's one thing. A lot of people like get tired of the grind, but that's what an RPG game is, especially when it's MMO. You're going to be doing a lot of grinding. It's surprising to me how many people like Skyrim, but doesn't enjoy the actual direction this game takes with it. So to find those, we are going to see. Nope. Mons Meg, where you at? Okay, we're going to track this. So this will show us everything we need. We have all of those precision drill bits, rubber. If you're trying to figure out where to get those drill bits and that rubber at, guys, what you want to do is you want to go and start up a world event. The quickest and easiest one that you're going to find is the merchant convoy, but any of those works. Same thing for the ghost ship. He's going to have a lot of that stuff too. Okay, then we're going to open our map, and I want to see if anything shows up for that. Looks like it does, right? Okay, so it's going to require me to go to the black market there. Go to black market here. So it is a black market item only. Well, that'll give us something else to grind out here. So it's not too big of a deal. So something you can do if you get tired, you just want to do PvP. You can actually come over here and do takeover events, join them up, and just go to war with people if you want. Whether you take it or not, it's the PvP aspect. If you don't want to deal with PvP, you go look for the legendary heists, and you would join the event like so. So that has us joined up. Ends in 6 minutes. We're going to fast travel over. We're going to join that battle, and we should maybe. I try to catch it before the event starts, but looks like I just barely missed it. So there's treasure in the outpost. We may come back here. Okay. Sometimes your ledger marks aren't going to show up. We're in a brig. We should be able to catch them. I can make it from St. Anne down here in a couple minutes. So, and this thing gets so fast. And another thing you can do, hit that water flash. That's going to give you more speed as well. Make sure your stamina is still up. Going to be pushing it there. Escort the friendly captain. Don't let them die. But I got to go pick up this freaking location. So this is going to be interesting because I already know that it's going to be swarmed over with those pesky rogues, man. Speaking of the pesky rogues, there they are. And that's how you dodge a torpedo. So, and it's the same way if it's a player shooting the torpedoes at you. Alright, so we have got a loot box somewhere up here. Hey, we actually joined that in pretty quick. We didn't have to come do all the crazy stuff. Gonna heal up real quick. Pop some water and get up out of here. Man, we were just a little too close. I like it. You just want to slam those guys like that. Torpedoes coming. I'm aiming for that freaking jug on the back. Not very good, am I? There we go. Okay, I gotta lose that mark there. I don't know how the heck this dude called us in that ship. I have the sand bucket. It's not that fast. We should be pulling harder, faster than he is. Without being full sail. Come on, man, punch it, baby. What a rest of the day. And that's how you do a co-op mission to gain a territory. We'll go see what this territory is here. So you could go all the way to Smuggler's Den like that guy is doing, or just bring up your map, check out the helm. We now have Citrana. You may be wondering, well, how do I find where that place is at? It's going to be one of these that need to be stopped back up. Right there it is. It's a level 2 fort, so we didn't have to start over from level 1. What I can do is I can upgrade that to a 3. That's going to put it on track with everything else. We're going to go ahead and fund all these guys. You might be thinking, man, it gets expensive doing this stuff with silver all the time. I did the route where you actually go and you get the boost by bringing the sugar cane down, and that wasn't any better. So I just farm up the silver, like I say, unless you're searching for those torpedoes or Skurlocks long nines. Just sell the liquor to the guy up in the, what's his name, Skurlock or Rema. You can sell to either one, either location. Sell it to them and the buy sell option, and you're going to get a heck of a lot more silver from that than you will anything else. So we have a timer stuck at 0 minutes and 0 seconds. I don't know why. Alright, so we are going to open these silver chests. And this is a good way to keep your money up as well, guys. So typically I have this timed out pretty well as far as when I get on. About the time I'm getting on, all I have to do is collect my territories, run a world event, start my production, and then you could actually log off if you wanted to and come back and do it all over again, or you can continue to farm. One of the things, if you come to this commodity trader, you want to find them all around the area. Come to commodity trader, you can buy and sell, and you want to find things like that has the red arrows, the triple red arrows pointing down. Buy from them and go to someone with the green arrows or the red arrows pointing up, and you're gonna be able to find somebody to buy that higher. Now, if you see right here, she actually sells a little lower than most people. She doesn't buy the garnet for as much, but the diamonds, that's the best you're going to find without having to search around and find someone who sells higher. Again, she's selling really low or buying really low on that, so we're not going to worry with that. But all that nutmeg and all that mess you get, I don't need that. I'm going to get rid of it. Looks like these are selling at a decent price. And ivory, it's selling kind of low here. So we'll hang on to that and sell it at another location. And that's how I do my silver. I don't go out of the way. It looks like night running around down here. For those who are wondering where we got the jacket, that is from farming out the ghost ship, the Mangoden as it's called. You want to take and just keep killing it, and eventually you'll start getting drops. You may get weapons, you may get the glowing cells, which is what I'm actually looking for. And then you could get the jackets to apparel. There's a different type of hat that goes with it. It looks really goofy, but there are some people who prefer it. That's basically where we're at right now, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm going to hop off here this evening, and we should start streaming pretty normal. I'm going to find the best time. I'm thinking about 9 p.m. is what I'm looking at, so make sure that you follow, and we'll start that stream back up, guys. Have a good one.